I am Cristiano de Rosa. I am the son of the Ugo de Rosa. Ugo de Rosa is not only my father, but is also the founder of the De Rosa company. And then I am very pleasure to say that me and my family continue with the third generation our big adventure inside of the bicycle economy, the bicycle passion, the bicycle race, the bicycle that we have. In this moment, I have the CEO of the company, and then I working in De Rosa from the last 45 years. I started when I was younger, and in this moment, I drive the company together with my son.
Earborn Media.
Produkcja oryginalna Earborn Media.
Hello everyone, my name is Piotr Peszko, and in this episode I'm taking you to a truly special place, the very heart of Italian cycling tradition. My guest is Cristiano de Rosa, the current CEO of the company, son of the founder, and today the public face of a brand that has inspired cyclists around the world for decades. We talk about the history of De Rosa, the family's deep passion for building bikes, the cycling icons who visited their workshop, and how tradition blends with modern innovation. This is a personal and inspiring conversation with a man who not only carries the legacy of his family, but is also giving it a new rhythm. Enjoy the episode. First of all, I would like to welcome you to the podcast. It's a great honor. It's a great honor to be here. And it's a great honor to, see how all the bicycles are made. I experienced, thanks to Patrizia, I've experienced how it is to ride those bicycles. And it's amazing. I would just tell you, I think the best experience I have in my life with riding a bike, it's with Setenta.
Thank you very much.
That's really brilliant. And that is why I wanted to get a bit deeper in the history and in tradition that you are building here, because it's an amazing place. I would just tell you, from the outside, you see okay, there are a few bicycles. Then you enter here, it's oh, that's the whole world, the history, the heritage, and you can feel that a lot of great things has been done here. So let me start with this. If you're being asked about the history of a brand, the history of De Rosa, what is the story you usually tell people?
Thank you. I start to explain what you mean for me, our brand, our company, our family.
Perfect.
Our family, it's very simple, because my father and my mommy also, because also my mother to working together with my father. And April 7 on the 1953 to establish the De Rosa bicycle.
It was here?
Was not here, was very near here, but around the 300 meters, but was in Cusano Milanino. What's happened? My father was an amateur rider, and every day to do the training, my father was born in Milano, lived in Milano also, and then every day to go in north, like of Madonna del Ghisallo or Como or Lecco, for to do the training day, because it was a good amateur riders. Was very strong for the flat race, for the mountain a little bit. But every day to go and then to pass the year in Cusano Milanino. My mommy was born in Cusano Milanino, so my father to every day to pass it, and then was a big romantic.
So it's a love story.
What's happened? Because one day my father to crash on the bike. My mommy was on the window and then say, "Oh, what's happened?" And then go to help Ugo. And may I help you? What's happened? You broken something? And my father was a little bit problem with the bolt, but no crash, no broke the arm or the. Unfortunately, nose my father and my father and my mommy in with this moment, and inside of this moment, my father Ugo gave also the passion of my mommy. And then what's happened? Immediately, my father say, I am a rider, but it's not my priority. My priority is to adjust and building the bicycle for our amateur team. And my Ugo was in Milano, live in Milano. Find a small local here in Cusano Milanino, and Ugo was 19 years older, and my mommy 18 years older, was very younger.
Yes.
It was the boy together. And immediately opened this officina where to assemble the bicycle, to adjust the bicycle. And in Cusano Milanino start the Rosa company. What's happened? At the beginning, my father working only for the local client, but immediately Ugo decided to stop with the race, but to dedicate to assembly the bicycle. Start to assemble the bicycle, and then start also to building the frame. Between Ugo and my wife working together, stay together, and then open the Rosa bicycle, April 7, 1953, and start the activity of the De Rosa. Now De Rosa sell the bicycle in 55 countries in the world.
Yes.
This is the beginning, because this big value for the family, Ugo give also to me, to my brothers, and then also to my son. Inside of the company, there is a third generation that work inside, because my 3 sons working in De Rosa. Every day, my father is dead 2 years ago in March 26, but every day my father met my son, and every day explain a little bit history of the Ugo life. Bicycle, race, market, passion, big tradition inside of this big value, but the family was in absolutely the important argument for the discussion with my
So the
son.
family is like a frame for a bicycle, right?
Yes. When you are here, maybe you find the bicycle, yes. You feel also the heritage, okay, but you feel also the vision for the future.
Yeah, so this is what I wanted to ask, is because I see, like, Pininfarina is the great design company, right? So I follow you on the social media, so I see like what you're trying to do, but what's the philosophy of connecting those two things, right? Because, on the one, I just see great pictures, great historical pictures, but on the other hand, I see beautiful bikes with the Pininfarina logo, great design. So how do you connect those things?
It's very simple. I say that you feel the heritage, but you feel also the vision and the innovation. Because my father was put a big attention for innovation of the products. And my father was very good also to understand and read on the correct way the market for the future.
Okay.
You find this a big connection. Pininfarina. Pininfarina is a major designer that we have in the world, because
Yes.
the Ferrari car, but not only the Ferrari car, the very special boat, very huge company. And then we start to work with the Pininfarina 10 years ago. The matching the Rosa and Pininfarina is very simple, because we match in the same value. Italian style, idea for the concept of the nice, not only the luxury, but the nice, the geometric, the style, the authentically impression that we can to give inside of the products. Also, my father was very interesting of this matching with the Pininfarina. The Pininfarina stuff comes in the Rosa to understand our history, ask the history of the company, ask the history of the why the red art inside of our bicycle, explain of this on the 2019 we decided to do the rebranding of our brand, and then we working 1 year with the Pininfarina to study the best lettering to put on our bike, because our bicycle now is very light, is very fast, but we need to put our heritage inside of the logo. This is the reason because we continue to push for the red art inside of the O.
Okay.
And it's a very important because we understand the value of the Pininfarina, the value of the Rosa, we matching, and then there is the good chemical, we start to study the SK Pininfarina frame, and then now the 70.
I had a chance to ride both, so it's amazing, but still you are producing steel frames, titanium frames, not only carbon, right? But why is that? Are there customers for steel frames, for titanium frames? How does it split? What's the reasoning behind this?
First of all, we say that for us, change the material, but we don't change the culture of the Italian frame builder, not only for the design, but for the geometry. With a huge experience of my father on the steel, because the beginning the bicycle was only in steel, from the 1953 to 81 was only in steel. Later started with aluminium, and then after to arrive the titanium, because we start to produce the titanium bicycle frame on the 1993-1994. We won the Milano-Sanremo on the 1994 with the titanium bike with Gavis team and Furlan rider. But what's happened? We bring our know-how that we have inside of the steel, we put on the aluminium, but we put also on the titanium, but we transfer inside of the carbon fiber, because the geometry that we use now for the carbon frame, we bring the input from the steel and titanium frame. We matching our culture of the Italian frame builder.
Okay, perfect. So now I would like to get back to times when you were a kid, right? So your father built bicycles for, let's say, the best cycling people in the world. Do you remember times when you met those cyclists? Have you got the chance to meet the cyclists who were racing bicycles? Were they coming to the workshop, I don't know, shaking your hand as a kid?
No, unbelievable, because today I received a message now from Eddie Merckx, because the day before of the Milano-Sanremo, I asked to him, who winner tomorrow? And then he replied to me, and then I replied to you, and then we joke a little bit. 50 years ago, Merckx won the Milano-Sanremo with the Rosa bicycle and the rainbow jersey. That is a fantastic day for us, because it passed the 50 years. But what's happened? I remember when my father working all day and then also on the night to prepare the bicycle, the frame for the professional rider. I am agree with you. Merckx won 525 races in the career, and then is the best rider that we never saw in our life. Maybe for the future, now there is the Pogacar, we are so very happy. Maybe for the future we find another strong, good rider. But in the meantime, I remember when Ugo met Eddie Merckx, was 1973. I'm 10 years older. And then Merckx asked to Ugo, but with the very... Eddie Merckx is a gentleman, believe me. He's a man that say, I'm sorry, Ugo, can I ask to you? Is no strong the character on the race, because it was the name, it was Cannibal. It was in absolutely win, or won. But on the priority is to win the race. But the relation with Ugo was very simple. And then I remember when Eddie met Ugo and say to Ugo, please, Ugo, can you build him some frames for me? And Ugo say, yes, it's an honor and a pleasure to building the frame for you. And then I remember that was the February on the 1973. I remember because I was very young, and then I stay all days inside of the officina with Ugo and with my mommy. Fortunately, I received more information and I learned a lot of from this period, because when you are young, you absorb a few information, you learn immediately. And I remember because my father was the mechanics of and the frame builder of the Gianni Motta. Gianni Motta and the Bergs was a little bit a competitor during of the race. If you building the frame for Gianni Motta, was not possible to speak to build in the frame also for Eddie Merckx. I remember that Ugo, my father, go to the Gianni Motta, say, Gianni, I have this opportunity. I speak very clear. May I build in the frame for Eddie Merckx? Gianni Motta was not happy, but he say, yes, it's a good opportunity for you, Ugo. And then you start. I remember when Ugo talk with Gianni Motta and then to say that was possible to building the frame for...
So they are gentlemen.
Absolutely. I am agree 100%. The rider, sometimes we find the new generation of the rider is very... What do you mean? Is the new generation? Maybe to have the same value, but to explain of the different way.
Yeah.
On the past, I remember that for Eddie Merckx, Ugo was the big brother, and then I ask with a big respect. I remember of this.
That's really a great story. So we are day before Milan Sanremo.
Yeah.
So how do you think who wins tomorrow? Bardiani will win?
No, but we would like, but I am honest. We know that it's not possible for us to. We are not. We have not the strong rider like of the cannot the competition like of the competitor with the Pogacar or BDP or other rider or Philips and on. But we have a good team, and then we are so very happy with our team. Tomorrow, I hope that to see the very best race, because the Milano Sanremo, all people say that it's difficult, but it's easy. But it is difficult because it's very easy race.
Yes.
And then I remember I have a huge experience when we personally followed the Gavis team, and then we won on the 1994. And then I remember that to study in the race, we study the street, we study the wind, we study the if the sanction of sanction with the such with kind of the tires and the wheels to assemble the bicycle, and then we study immediately to find the best solution for to win the race. And then we study the morning. Was very clear for the each rider. We attack here, and then we have the support here with the some rider. Moreno Argentin help, Botaro help, Guido Bontempi help, Furlan, and then it's fantastic day. But it's easy, but it's very difficult to learn to read the race during of the race.
So the last question I have is, what do you feel when the Rosa Bikes is passing the finish line as a first one? Like, what is the feeling? You track the race. You can't live without cycling, right? But what is the feeling when you see that, the best racers are really winning on the bikes that you build?
It is impossible to explain that, because when you won the race, you're happy, big emotional, and then in this moment you won the race, and then in absolutely big emotion, and the adrenaline very, very strong. But on the meantime, we understand that to win the race, need to prepare the race, to study the products, to decide for every frame, for every rider to give the best bicycle in absolutely. And then to matching the emotional moment, but together you immediately you have the big connect with your last job that you can did for to arrive for the race. And this is a good moment for us.
Perfect. So I wish you as many wins as possible. I wish you the best, building still the best bikes, and I hope that we will see more of them, right? Because I would say one of the things that we would like to do here is to build the awareness about such a great brands and such a great brands with amazing heritage. So I'd like to thank you very much for your time and for hosting me here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Grazie.